Hey guys, it's Christopher A. Ward with freedominstitute.com, where we train high school dropouts how to make $60,000 per year within 90 days guaranteed. I wanted to shoot a video today to share with you some success principles that I learned while serving in the United States Marine Corps. And these principles are pretty amazing, and they've had some pretty profound effects on my life after I had left the Marine Corps. Especially in my business life. And so I wanted to share these with you because I'm hoping that someone out there can get some benefit from these just like I did. So I want to tell you the story real quick, and I'll make it as fast as I can. But basically, I was serving in the Marine Corps at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, and I was outside of a conference room sweeping a floor, because that's what my job was at the time, was sweeping floors. And I'm sweeping the floor, I'm doing the best job I can. My sergeant leans out and he says, "Hey, Ward, come in here. We've got one of the Marines in here that's getting promoted. I want you to see this promotion." So I was a brand new Marine. I was barely 18 years old, and had no rank. I was the lowest rank there. But I go into this promotion ceremony, and I see this Marine who's being promoted to Master Gunnery Sergeant, which is E9. It's the highest enlisted rank that you can achieve. Generally speaking, if you ever do make it to E9, it takes you about 35 years to do so. I mean, it's a long career to get to E9. Very slow process. Well, during the promotion, the colonel that was promoting the Master Gunnery Sergeant went over the fact that he had been promoted in just over 15 years to Master Gunnery Sergeant. So somehow this guy had gone through the entire promotion system up to E9 within 15 years. That was unheard of. No one does that. And so the colonel spent a lot of time talking about how, he doesn't know how he did it. He doesn't know, he must have been, a brown noser, or, figured out a way to hack the system or something. But he didn't understand how he did it, but it was certainly something that he had never seen before, and that, everybody was pretty amazed by the fact that this guy had been promoted in such a short period of time. Well, at the time, in my mind, I was a lifer. I was going to spend my entire career in the Marine Corps. I ended up getting out earlier than that, but at the time, that was my plan when I was 18. And so after the ceremony, the new Master Gunnery Sergeant goes back to his office. I'm sweeping the floor. I get outside his office where I'm sweeping, and I knock on the door, and I just say, "Master Guns, could I ask you a question?" And he says, "Yeah, go ahead." And I say, "How'd you do it? How'd you get promoted to Master Gunnery Sergeant in 15 years? He said, "Come in, close the door, and sit down," which I did. And when I sat down, he looked at me and he said, "Do you know that over the past 15 years, I've been called names, I've been made fun of, I've been accused of breaking the rules, I've been accused of being a brown noser, a kiss butt. I've had people come to me with all these claims as I kept getting promoted above everyone else, because it just pissed people off, that I was getting promoted so fast." And he said, "In all these 15 years, I've never once had a Marine say, 'Hey, how are you doing it?' until you just asked me." And he said, "So I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I did." And that's what he did. He had basically come up with this theory. He had reverse engineered the way that promotions are done. And he had come up with 3 or 4 rules, which, by the way, I'm not going to share with everyone right now because I don't want to. Number one, this was about 20 years ago, so the Marine Corps promotion system has probably changed. But number two, I don't want to throw a wrench in the works of the Marine Corps promotion system. So I'm not going to post this publicly. But he had 3, technically 4 rules that he followed. And he gave me those 4 rules, and he said, if you follow these 4 rules, and they were simple. I mean, they were not difficult to do. I mean, it took none of my time. It took very little effort. He said, if you follow these 4 rules, you will be promoted very, very quickly. And so that's what I did. From that day forward, I started following those 4 rules. And those 4 rules got me promoted faster than anyone that I've ever met in the Marines. So by the time I was 21, I was a sergeant. I was offered a staff sergeant, meritorious promotion, before I decided to get out, but I passed on that because I had already decided to leave the Marine Corps, and I wanted a Marine that was going to be in the Marine Corps for life, for a full career, to take that promotion. But anyway, the bottom line is that his process worked. I applied it, and it worked. He had already gone through this process. He had already proven it. And so all I did was say, how'd you do it? He told me, and I did it, and then I generated the same results he did. So, what lessons can we learn about this? Well, there's some lessons that I learned that I've applied to my business life that have really helped me out. Number one, I never reinvent the wheel. If someone else has already produced the type of results I want to produce in the specific industry that I want to produce them, I just go to them and say, how'd you do it? How'd you do it? So that's what freedominstitute.com is actually all about. It's about me saying, look, I've already built a multi-million-dollar company twice, and I'm just going to show you how I did it. That's all. There's no theory, there's no, craziness. I just sit down and say, here's, if I was going to rebuild my business from ground up, this is how I would do it. So never reinvent the wheel. Find someone who knows what they're doing, who has already done it, and just go do that. That's it. Just very simple. So when I started Lazy Day, I went to my supplier and I said, hey, who's the best pool builder in the entire state of Georgia? The supplier told me. There was a name of a guy. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was considered to be the best. I called the guy. I said, hey, could I come shadow you for 2 weeks? I just want to see how you run your business, see how you do things. He said, sure, no problem. I'm retiring in 6 months anyway. It doesn't matter to me. So that's what I modeled my business off of, was his business. I did not reinvent the wheel. Reinventing the wheel is a waste of your time, energy, and money. Don't do that. Okay. Number 2 is don't be afraid to ask. This guy was obviously outperforming everyone else. For 15 years, everybody could see it. It was right there in front of them. But their pride would not allow them to ask. And one thing that I've noticed is those people who find a high level of success in whatever area of business or life that you're talking about, very few, if any, people have ever asked them about it, because when you ask someone, hey, how did you get this high level of success? It's an acknowledgement that they're outperforming everyone. It's an acknowledgement of their level of performance, which kind of strokes their pride a little bit. But it's also, it opens the door for them to share with you, because a lot of these guys and gals that have achieved these levels of success, they're not gonna tell you unless you come to them. I mean, they're too busy doing their own thing. They're too busy achieving their own life goals and everything. But when you come to them, and especially when a successful person sees someone else a young person who truly wants to succeed and is willing to do whatever it takes, they'll share their knowledge with you. And by the way, if you're not willing to do what it takes to achieve success for yourself, it's very difficult for you to go to somebody else and say, how did you do it? And the reason is that your pride won't let you. It's like your pride is telling you, no, you don't need to know what they're doing. You can figure all this out on your own, which is cool. You can spend the next 20 years trying to figure everything out on your own, or you can just go to somebody and say, how'd you do it? So don't reinvent the wheel. Don't be afraid to ask someone. I have asked a few people in my life to share their experiences and their lessons learned with me over the years. I've never had anybody say no. People are always willing to help, especially when they see somebody that wants to follow in their footsteps. So those are the 2 main lessons that I want to share with you in this video. Never reinvent the wheel. Don't waste your time doing that. And don't be afraid to seek out and ask the people who have already done what you want to do how to do it. Very simple. FreedomInstitute.com. If you're looking at somebody that's already done it. So if you want to join FreedomInstitute.com, you can take my training, and basically I just go through and I tell you, exactly how to copy what I've done. In addition to that, at FreedomInstitute.com, you'll be part of the online community where once a week I'll do live Q&As. No matter how much training I do, there's always going to be, tons of additional questions that I don't cover, and so the Q&As is where I can answer specific questions to your specific business and help you succeed, which, by the way, is my only goal. I only want to help people succeed. Now, my tagline on the website says, "We teach high school dropouts how to make $60,000 per year within 90 days guaranteed," and that's true. Making $60,000 per year, running your own lifestyle business is not that difficult to do. When you know what you're doing, it's not that difficult to do. I do know what I'm doing, so I share that with you, and so you can reach that $60,000 mark relatively easily. But the reason that I call it high school dropouts is I want to let everyone know that regardless of where you are in life, regardless of your level of education, I can get you to $60,000 in 90 days. And it's guaranteed. If I don't want your money. It's as simple as that. Check out FreedomInstitute.com, and when you go there, click on the Current Offers tab. The Current Offers tab is going to give you whatever discounts or anything that we're offering at that time. From time to time, we'll offer discounts on our membership fees. So I hope this has been helpful for you guys, and I will see you at FreedomInstitute.com.